Okay, so see now, we just sketched this eye, okay? Now all eye shapes are slightly different, but with this style and technique, you know, once you kind of master this style and technique, which shouldn't take too long, you can start doing more realistic and more what am I saying? More use reference pictures. Okay? You can use reference pictures to really make accurate drawings. But once you kind of master this technique, then your drawings will start getting better and better. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add that little pink and peach for the bottom of the eyelid. Now I'm gonna go into that same pastel I sketched with at the beginning and a darker brown. Okay, the top of this eyelid, and we'll make it dark. And it's true, some eyes can take hours to complete, but this one should only take minutes. Oops, sorry. Okay, see, so I add my darks. I add some lights. From there, I'll choose some random colors, okay? So there's all kinds of skin tones. See, I'm putting light pressure. Light pressure. Not a lot. You can blend with your hands, with your fingers, whatever you want. That's totally fine. See, this is the first layer. So the first layer, I'm not really blending much. I'm just adding color, okay? And most people love to have their pastel sharp, and I do as well. But good thing about pastel, it doesn't always need to be sharp. Okay, see? So once I have that, I'm gonna use my pinky, kind of spread the color around. You can do it in a circle if you want. You don't want to use a lot of blending, and you don't want to do too many layers, because after so many layers, then it becomes harder and harder to add more layers. So you want to add your layers little by little. Okay? Like I said, you can do this without any tools, just the pencils on their own. That's very possible. And see, it doesn't always have to be super sharp pencils. Even dull pencils can make some magic. Hello? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, bye. Sorry about that, guys. So, like I said, I'm a teacher, so I will be doing a lot of tutorials in a classroom. I'm a substitute, so you'll see me in a bunch of different classes. Okay, so if you're gonna do color in a circular motion, you want to stay with that circular motion the entire way, or most of the way. You don't want to use too many up and down, left and right circles all over the place. You want to stay pretty consistent with it. So I'm gonna do a bunch of different eye drawings so you can see the different steps I take, different tools I use. You can see the different brands. I will explain all the brands I have and use. And from there, you can see the difference of all of them. So this one is going to have lots of blending with my finger. I'm going to do another one with very little blending with my finger and mostly just using the pastels on their own. Okay? So, like I said, this is a quick video. You know, I don't want to do too much. I will have full content and full instructional ones on other videos. This is just the simplest way for a beginner, okay? So see, my pencils are not that sharp. That's okay. This is a perfect way to practice. They don't always need to be super sharp. You always want to have some sort of light, some sort of dark. Pick a spot where you want your shadows, your highlights. You know, I'm not a girl, so I don't know much about makeup. So I don't know exactly where your highlights go. And see, even though this one is not sharp, you can still add a little. So what I learned, not to use too much black. If you need to make dark, use a dark brown. If you have some shadow areas, use a dark brown for skin tones. So I'm gonna make this eye mostly green and brown. You know, I'm hoping to finish it within 5 minutes. Should be almost there. So now, take this little charcoal. Okay, the black. Okay, see, now it's with just that little black circle and that little white circle. Now it's already starting to look like an eye. So the top of the eye, since it has the eyelid, it's usually slightly darker, sometimes a lot more darker than the bottom half of the eye. So let's go with this brown. See, I would tell you the name of the color, but it don't really have it. It just says 610 with 2 stars. But it's a dark brown. Okay. So I guess these will be kinda hazel eyes. And the good thing about these is they layer really, really well. And if you want it darker, now, some green eyes have brown in them, some brown eyes have green in them. Now I'm just doing little lines. Okay, so that part is done. I don't want to make it too complex. Okay, so now this white part of the eye is called the sclera. And it's not full. I know that's the white part, but it's not really white. It has shadows in there. So what I like to do, you know, depending on where the light is and where the shadows is and which way the person's looking, you know, it'll have different shades. You know, after a couple weeks of doing this, your eye will, you kind of train your eye to see the shadows and the colors and everything. So see, I add those undertones first, and over everything, I go in with the white. So yes, the white part of the eye is white, but you can still kind of see those undertones. Okay, we're almost done. See, I'm going to add a little bit of blue, a little bit of this gray, black, and see, this is just a regular charcoal white, so it's a lot different, or not a lot different, but kind of different than the pastel. Let's see, I'm adding some white there, So this will be some shadow right underneath the eye. So you don't always need all these extra shadows. Now this will take maybe 2 more minutes. So I will do one tutorial where I'm going to try make it in less than 5 minutes. Okay, so now, for the most part, we got the eye. So now, let's add some eyelashes. You can make the eyelashes come into the eye these eyelashes are still kind of hard for me. But that's okay, see? Remember, try not to use too much darks or too much black. Use it sparingly. And there you have it. About, what, less than 20 minutes. Now if you got some downtime, it's a good little sketch to do. Me, I have a lot of time on my hands. In between work and stuff, I dedicate myself to my art. And I usually do an eye drawing as a warm-up. So there you go. Stay tuned for some more drawings.